How you feeling there, man?
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio. Broadcasting live.
Well, hello everybody. Something is not right with my sound stuff, and I'm not sure where it's coming from. So that's exciting, I guess. I don't know. Hey everyone. I'm joined by Radar. Hi, Radar.
Hey, what's going on?
Dude, do you have your volume up? Because I can hear myself. Everybody.
I don't think so. I should have everything muted.
Interesting. Okay. Goodness. All right, hold on. I'm gonna just turn that down for right now. I don't know what happened, but I have figured it out. Hold on. Hi, Radar. I'm back.
Hey, I'm back. That wasn't me, was it?
No, it was definitely me. I've got like 20 different things open again, because I've got all these new screens surrounding me, and I've got let's see, I've got a Facebook thing over here, I've got stuff over here, I've got shit over here, and I forgot to mute one of them. So
Well, I don't feel so bad.
Right? Yeah, no, it was definitely all my fault. Oh, dude, I want a cookie. Gary, how are you gonna just offer up treats and then not deliver? It's kind of fucked up. Fucking ass. Whatever. Okay, so fun stuff in the life of Minx. If there's any scrub techs who are looking for a job outside of Fort Hood, my hospital is in desperate need of scrub techs. Because the dude who, one, he was absolutely worthless. And I'm kind of ashamed that he's a veteran. Because he was a shitbag. Right on. Thanks, man, for you like my hookah. Anyways, so he on Friday at work, like, we had a legit medical emergency. Like, we had this chick rolling, hemorrhaging, like bleeding out, like about to die, and he was just like, meh, I'm leaving. And we're like, what? Like, what the fuck? What do you mean you're leaving? Like, this is not okay. And so he leaves, and then yesterday, like, shows up to work, and I'm pretty sure he was given an ultimatum of, like, listen, you're either going to turn in your resignation or you're going to be fired. Either way, you're not going to work here anymore. And so he turned in his resignation yesterday, which, really fucked over literally all the other techs, and myself included, because, he was the dude who, like, gave us lunches, and then now he's gone. And so it's like, all right, this is cool. So I have no idea what they're going to do about that.
So now you're lunchless?
Yeah, like, legit. Every shit. Sorry, everyone, for, like, busting your eardrums. I got super excited. So now we don't get any breaks unless our room happens to be, like, done early, and then we're like, oh, good, I can pee. This is nice. Or, hey, I might be able to catch a snack today. Awesome. And then tomorrow's the vag day. No, actually, Neil, it was not Scott and White. I do not work at Scott and White. Freaking. But yeah, so that's been, like, the interesting shit going on in my life at work anyways. When I'm not at work, let's see, I don't do anything. So, yeah.
don't feel bad about that because I do very little to nothing.
Make my own sandwiches? I don't know, Gary. I don't fucking make sandwiches for my boyfriend, so why am I going to make sandwiches for myself? Because then he'll expect his own sandwiches. I'm not about that. Right? See? So if I don't make sandwiches for myself, then that means I don't have to make sandwiches for him. See where I'm going with this?
You guys could have like a riot for lunches or a walkout.
We could, right? Because, like, seriously, so the flu is going around my hospital right now. Like, we've had 2 nurses that have gotten sick with it. Or no. Like, just in my immediate department, we've had 2 or 3 nurses come down with it. So far, none of the techs have come down with the flu. But, like, all it's going to take is just one person, like, to call out sick, like, tech-wise, or, fucking, a kid having to stay home, and our whole department's going to be crippled because it's like, hey, I know you've booked all 4 rooms, but we don't have the people to run it. So I guess flip a coin for the surgeon who gets fucked in the ass and has to, cancel their cases. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I know here, like, everything's like interconnected. Like, we're more regional, obviously, than you guys are down there. But, if, someone is sick in Spearfish, they can call someone from Rapid or whatever to come kind of fill in. Do you guys have like a backup facility you could draw from, or?
No.
Well, that sucks. They're with my idea. I'm sorry.
No. And like on Friday, our backup, technically the person who, works in the labor and delivery department should have handled that trauma as far as the woman hemorrhaging. And they were like, I don't feel comfortable doing this. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, you say that you feel confident enough to do C-sections, but then if there's any sort of complication, you don't feel comfortable doing it. Like, a hysterectomy is literally a C-section plus extra steps, right? Instead of taking a baby out, you're taking the whole uterus out. It's literally the same approach, the same closure. Like, it's the same procedure minus an infant inside the uterus. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And they're like, yeah, no, we're just not comfortable. It's like, this is your area that you're supposed to, like, be an expert in. But that's cool. That's cool. Just stand in the room and hover and not be fucking useful.
Right. Just stand there and watch me do your job this time.
Right? Yeah. So, fucking. But anyways, got my, hi, Ryan. Right, exactly, Rotec. Congratulations, it's a uterus. You will now live. But yeah, just work has been super, just kind of not knowing where it's gonna go, and wondering if I should, jump ship, because I'm not sure if it's sinking or not. But yeah, so. I really want to get in on this. So, Captain Marvel is coming out in like a week and a half. And fucking the chick who's playing Captain Marvel, what's her name? Brie Larson. She fucking opened her mouth on politics and feminism and I don't fucking know what else. But either way, it's really turned me off on even watching this movie. And I'm a diehard Marvel fanatic. Like, I love these movies. I love the comics. And this hooker is absolutely ruining it for me. I don't care about your politics. You are an actor. You're like a monkey on stage. Your job is to fucking entertain me. Dance, monkey, dance. Right? Like, it is not your job to tell me about your, like, ideas of, like, misinterpreted, like, feminism or why, movie critics are mostly white men. Like, who the fuck cares? Who fucking cares? But yet, she went and opened her goddamn mouth. And so now, I don't know if I even want to, again, I don't know if I want to go see this fucking movie. Because if I go see it, that fucking supports this hooker. And I don't support her because she went fucking political. Because I don't care about her political beliefs. Keep that shit away from this movie, right? Politics and superheroes don't fucking mix.
Well, you could just do what I'm going to do and just wait for it to come out on Netflix or whatever. Then you're not really supporting them, but you're still enjoying the movie.
Right? So legit. So according to Rotten Tomatoes, at least for now, Captain Marvel has rapidly gone from highly anticipated to barely anticipated at all. As of the publication of this article, which was, I think, a few days, yesterday, the film review site still shows the comic book blockbuster with a miserable want-to-see score of 27%. So why are so many people apparently uninterested in seeing the latest installment of Marvel Studios? Well, you can either blame it on the film star Brie Larson or on, quote, right-wing trolls, depending on your political persuasion. So, the film's want-to-see score began plummeting soon after Larson, who plays the lead role, began making politically and ideologically charged statements during promotional events in early February. As the Daily Wire's Emily Zanotti reported, Larson has vowed to make sure the film's press junket is not a, quote, overwhelmingly white male. So again, who the fuck cares, right? Like, who cares? Maybe it's because, maybe they're overwhelmingly white men at these fucking press conferences or whatever, because that's all who fucking applied for that job, right? How do you know, So she's quoted as saying, about a year ago, I started paying attention to what my press days looked like and the critics reviewing movies, and noticed it appeared to be overwhelmingly white male. Larson told Marie Claire, because that's a reliable source, in early February, right? Why not take your fucking politically charged statement to I think it's a fashion magazine. I'm not honestly 100% sure. I don't think I've ever actually opened a Marie Claire magazine, but there we go. I'm assuming it's a fashion magazine, but again, I don't know.
It's definitely not something in the Motor Trend or the Gun magazine section that I normally look at.
Right? Yeah, I don't care. And she's saying, so I spoke to Dr. Stacy Smith at the USC Annenberg Inclusion Initiative. Who put together a study to confirm that. Moving forward, I decided to make sure my press days were more inclusive. After speaking with you, the film critic Valerie Complex, and a few other women of color, it sounded like across the board they weren't getting the same opportunities as others. When I talked to the facilities that weren't providing it, they all had different excuses. In its coverage of the story, the New York Post noted about the USC study that it found that of 100 highest-grossing movies in 2017, 67% of top critics were white men. Less than 25% were white women, while 10% were men of color, and 2.5% were women of color. Larson also told Entertainment Tonight that she pushed the studio to make Captain Marvel a big feminist movie. Because why not ruin it even more, right? Because let's face it, modern-day feminism and modern-day feminists ruin everything that they fucking touch. Everything.
Yeah, they just can't seem to leave it well enough alone. But I just had a wonderful idea while I'm sitting here. You know how, when you're downrange, I was in Iraq, and you always could get the movies 2 weeks before they came out.
Yeah.
Just have we got to have somebody we know, in Iraq, who could just, I don't know, burn it and email it to us, and we could watch it tonight.
Right.
And we don't even got to worry about it.
Something about pirating films, though, is, illegal. So.
Well, Is it really illegal? Because you don't want to support them in that way, right? Because
Right,
because of
yeah.
their political, we're teaching them a lesson at that
Right.
point.
So, yeah, like honestly, I want to skip Captain Marvel now because again, this hooker has to go and open her goddamn mouth about shit that nobody cares about. Like I don't care that like film critics don't have women of color as like in their job because again, maybe that's just the proportion of people applying for the job. So why are you going to lower standards so that way you get more people of color or like attracting more, women into it if the majority of your applicants are white men? Like, so that takes away their opportunity? That's not fair.
Well, and honestly, I didn't realize that film critics were still like a thing.
I didn't
Like I
either.
remember Siskel and Ebert or whatever back in the 90s or 80s, whatever, they were like, "Oh, thumbs up." But after that, now that with the internet, everyone's got that outlet. You can spend hours and hours and hours following people who can rant and rave about literally anything. So
Right, yeah. Right? Like me.
yeah, like us.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God. Speaking of hookers who ruin everything. That news article I sent you about this bridezilla who is a vegan and like putting my statement out there. Vegans are probably the worst people I have ever come across. They're just absolutely the worst.
yeah, they're not really that great.
So everyone remembers the bride. I don't know if everyone does, but there's that one hooker who wanted her guests to pretty much pay for her wedding. And was like, everyone needs to pay $1,000 for my wedding because reasons. So this hooker, like this chick, just takes the cake on this, right? So this bride wants her guests to make a lifelong vow of their own to never eat meat again. Fucking communist bullshit right there. So a vegan bride is catching heat on social media after she made the decision to disinvite any guest who did not adopt a vegan lifestyle permanently. So according to a since deleted post made by the bride on a vegan Facebook group, the woman had originally requested all of her guests to eat from a vegan menu at her wedding, which fine. If you're going to, invite me to a vegan wedding, I'll probably bring along like a burger in my purse. But it's fine, whatever. So, however, she later took it a step further and made her guests agree to fully giving up meat and animal byproducts even after the wedding was over. So, quote, just for some context, some family members were told they were not invited to my wedding because we don't want to host murderers, she wrote in Vegan Revolution. Her wedding is supposed to be one of the happiest days of our lives. Like, there's bridezillas, and then there's this hooker. Like, listen, in order to be invited to my wedding, you have to completely, change your entire, lifestyle to something that I believe in. So if you could just get on that, that would be great.
Yeah. Hop on board with my lifestyle so you can buy me presents and sit for 2 hours in the heat while I get married.
Exactly. I mean, totally reasonable, right? Maybe.
That's what I'm going to do. But I think I'm going to do the opposite and be like, you have to vaccinate your kids and you have to eat like ribeye at my wedding.
Right. In order to be invited, you must show proof of vaccination. Thank you.
It's not hard. Just go to the doctor and they'll print you out the card, right? Just you gotta do it.
That might have to be something people start doing, though. Right? Don't you bring your measles infected ass to my wedding.
Hey, ain't nobody needs smallpox up in here.
Right? Oh, and then it was Steve Irwin's birthday the other day. And I shared something on my own personal page about it because I grew up as an avid Crocodile Hunter fan. Like, Steve Irwin is the shit. And I think the biggest form of unity that I can remember, like in recent history, has to be the entire world shitting on PETA for trying to like bash Steve Irwin on his birthday.
Because everyone backed that one. There wasn't a group out there that was like, "Nah, PETA, we got your back." No, everyone
Right.
was stone.
Right, exactly. It was like, oh, like the whole world did like a finger snap and was like, oh, no, you didn't. It was the best thing ever. Yeah, exactly, cause the unity after 9/11 was pretty badass. But I'm saying like in recent history, so like within, I don't know, like the last 5 years.
Especially because the only people who like PETA are PETA. Nobody else cares about them. No one likes them. So it was nice to see everyone kind of show that
Right, yeah.
hey, we want to eat steak.
Right. I don't know. But so yeah, that's they destroyed PETA. Right? But I love how someone called PETA out for being like, you know, the Irwins don't have it like a 70 to 80 kill ratio like percentage, unlike you, who kill, 80% of the animals in your shelters. But that's cool. Right? So you know how Bernie Sanders is running for president?
Oh yeah.
So 3 of his top aides walked out of his campaign today.
I didn't see that. What they walk out for?
So the 3 top aides for Senator Bernie Sanders from his last campaign have stopped working for his 2020 campaign, according to NBC News. Tad Devine, Mark Longabaugh, and Julian Mulvey, who all came from a consulting firm that worked for Sanders' 2016 campaign, are parting ways with the senator, citing creative differences. Longabaugh told NBC News the entire firm has stepped away. We're leaving the campaign. We just didn't have a meeting of the minds. Devine acted as Sanders' chief strategist in 2016. Longabaugh was primarily responsible for the delegate hunting roadmap and dealt with the Democratic National Committee and the debates. And Mulvey supervised the firm's ads for Sanders, including the effective ad that used Simon & Garfunkel's song America. Altogether, the firm produced 275 television, radio, and digital ads for that campaign and was involved in much of the campaign's top decision-making, which is really interesting that they're all leaving. So the 3 men issued a joint statement saying, "We are leaving because we believe that Senator Sanders deserves to have media consultants who share his creative vision for the campaign." So his new campaign manager, Fiaz Shakir, stated, "The campaign appreciates all the good work DML have done and wishes them well. There are some possible red flags. Devine worked the 2010 campaign of Ukrainian President Viktor, whatever his last name is, something Ukrainian, and Paul Manafort. And the 3 men's consulting firm made $5.3 million from the 2016 campaign, according to the Federal Election Commission."
Yeah, so all you guys that feel the burn, it went right to them. 5.3 million of it went to them.
Feel the burn. Although, and like seriously, if you do feel a burn, you should probably go get that checked out. You may need some antibiotics.
At least a cream.
Right? We don't know. Right? Lube also helps if you're feeling any sort of burn down there. Lube. He should just hire some people from Antifa. I agree. But at the same time, things might get violent. Which, speaking of violence, Bernie Sanders has yet to denounce the president of Venezuela for the violence that has ransacked that country. Like, he still won't be like, yeah, no, the dude's a dictator. He like skirts around it and is like, there's still democratic practices happening. Is there? Is there really? He's a dictator and he's shooting on innocent civilians. But that's cool. Right? And Taylor makes a good point, saying, translation, they don't want to get fucked by the DNC again. Yeah, no, that's probably true. Right? Because let's all remember, Hillary rigged the DNC because Bernie was leading in every single poll, and every fucking Democrat I know, which is actually quite a few, voted for fucking Bernie in the Democratic primary, but yet they got stuck with Hillary, which honestly I think was a good thing for everyone not left of, sane, because I think it might have turned out a whole lot different if it was Trump v. Bernie.
Do you think, honestly, though, the more moderate kind of Democrats would have backed Bernie? The ones who are, like you said, left of insane, obviously we're okay with him. But the ones who are, because most of America is in the middle. Let's be honest. No, most of Americans don't want that huge, crazy socialist agenda that they're pushing, that, Green New Deal and all that.
You're right.
Even
most sane Americans. However, he's saying I'm a democratic socialist, which again, there is no such thing, but because he puts the word democratic in front of it, that's like a trigger word, right? And people are like, oh, it's a good thing, right? Because we're in a democracy. No, we're not. We're a democratic republic, like we're a republic, right? Because even in our Pledge of Allegiance, it says, and to this republic, not into this democracy.
Right.
So there's that. Or constitutional republic, whatever. It's the same. Not democratic republic. Sorry, let me fix my wording. For all you fucking grammar word Nazis out there. So, anyways, what was I going to say? Right? Exactly, Doc Mortar. That's what I just said. So, what was I going to say to this song? Line or Big Brother and shit. Dude, I don't know, Tyler. But yeah, so he's fucking out. But speaking of this Green New Deal, so I've got it pulled up from like their the Green Party's website. And the slogan that they're going with is, we can. Like, they're shouting this shit at you. Build a better tomorrow today. It's time for a Green New Deal. Is it, though? So they're talking, those of you who don't know, exactly, Duncan, socialism always leads to full-blown communism, because that's the end game of socialism. Oh my gosh. So the Green New Deal will convert the old gray economy into a new sustainable economy. I don't know how. That is environmentally sound, economically viable, and socially responsible. It seeks to solve the climate crisis by combining quick action to get to net zero greenhouse gas emissions and 100% renewable energy by 2030, along with a, quote, economic bill of rights, unquote. The right to single-payer health care, a guaranteed job at a living wage, and affordable housing and free college education. Now, we're going to stop right there. That is the first, 3 sentences from this website. Now, I have a few issues with this. They're talking about, net zero greenhouse gas emissions. So that means everyone in the United States in the next 10 years has to get an electric car. No matter what. You must get an electric car, which means no more fossil fuels. And that's one of the things is, we're not going to rely on fossil fuels. Fossil fuels will become obsolete. Cool. Air travel requires fossil fuel consumption. So How are we going to, this makes no sense. So they wanted to get rid of, okay. And so this also means like completely electric, I don't know, construction equipment, which I don't know how they're going to haul anything on something that has to be recharged every like 4 hours. How are they going to fucking 18-wheelers? How are they going to fucking do that?
It's going to be magic.
And that's just it. Like, they're talking about all this technology that doesn't exist, which is going to come into play again somehow. They're not sure yet, but god damn it, it's gonna fucking come into play. And so their whole economic bill of rights, the right to single payer health care. Okay, everyone who relies on the VA, that's single payer health care. Let me know how much you like that, right? Having to wait months for an appointment, whether it's behavioral health or not. You have to wait months in order to get seen. And even then, it's at like the most inopportune times, right? Where you're in the middle of a fucking work week or like work day and you're like, you now have to pick, hey, do you go to your medical appointment or do you fucking skip work?
Yeah, because if you don't skip work, you're not going to get that appointment.
Right,
again.
Yeah. So there's that. So, you know, and again, people from countries that do have single payer healthcare, they come here a lot of the time because they know they'll get seen a lot faster for what they, you know, need to be seen for. They don't have to wait weeks. They don't have to wait months to get an appointment. You know, I have a friend who called the VA because she's having, you know, some mental health like issues, crisis, like even being like, you know, hey, I am about to become one of the 22 vets a day who fucking offs themselves. And they're like, we're sorry, but we're not open today. Maybe you can come back later, like on a Monday when we're open and resume normal business hours. But even then, you're still going to have to wait till your appointment, which, hold on, let's check for the next available. Oh, it's in 4 months. If you need to be seen before that, you can go to your local emergency room. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's not good. That's not good for anybody. But yet, that's what a lot of people, these progressives, want. They want this fucking single-payer healthcare, which is going to ruin healthcare that as we know it, right? So surgeons, think about it this way. Surgeons get paid a lot for doing what they do, especially on the civilian side, because, our time is money. So the faster you are in the operating room, the more money you're going to get. The more cases you can knock out in a day, the more money you're going to get, right? So in the VA and even in, you know, military hospitals, because it's a set salary, no matter how many cases you fucking knock out, they're not pushed to go fast. They're like, nah, I might do 2 cases today. And even though, you know, their fucking log is completely backed up and full of all these people who need these procedures done, they're like, nah, fuck it. I'm only going to do 1 case today because I'm going to get paid the same no matter what. So why the fuck am I going to work harder to not get paid more? That doesn't make any sense. And which is why you fucking, again, at the VA and even, you know, at Army hospitals, that's why you have to book out a surgery fucking 3 months in advance because they're like, nah, I get paid either way, so why should I fucking bust my ass to do your case? I'm not.
Well, and even when you book it 3 months in advance, a lot of times then they call and cancel it or reschedule it because of reasons.
Right? So, you know, there's that. But yeah, sure. Single payer health care. Why not? Let's see. A guaranteed job at a living wage. Again, so this whole thing is going to cause massive inflation. And what people don't understand, like, I don't think a lot of people understand that if you give everyone a set like wage, no matter what their job is, cost of living is going to go up, right? Cost of fucking everything is going to go up, because that's what happens when you have inflation, because you can't fucking pay everyone the same. I'm sorry, you just can't. Someone who sits behind a desk and fucking makes like books someone's like calendar full, right? So you're a fucking secretary, should not get paid the same as a person running the company. They just shouldn't. So there's that. And then affordable housing and free college education. Again, how are you going to make that happen? And they don't fucking say, right? So, all right, on to paragraph number 2. So European Greens were among those calling for a Green New Deal in 2006 in response to the global financial crisis, which that's like fucking failed, by the way. So in addition to a call for both climate action and a Bill of Economic Rights, the approach by the European Greens sought to democratize the world's financial system. In New York State, Howie Hawkins, not Hokie, sorry, promoted a Green New Deal in his 2010 Green Party run for governor, an issue focus that subsequently was picked up by Jill Stein in her 2012 presidential campaign and by many other Green Party candidates across the United States. So the National Green Party platform calls for the following: enact an emergency Green New Deal to turn the tide on climate change, revive the economy, and make wars for oil obsolete. Initiate a World War II scale national mobilization to halt climate change, the greatest threat to humanity in our history. That is somehow going to create 20 million jobs by transitioning to 100% clean renewable energy by 2030 and investing in public transit, sustainable regenerative agriculture, conservation, and restoration of critical infrastructure, including ecosystems. Now, part of this is saying that they want to completely rebuild a lot of the infrastructure of the United States. Again, with what money?
It's free. It's in the name, free.
Yeah, but that's not how that works. That's not how any of this works.
Well, we don't need to start like throwing facts and logic at this argument, because that's just not it's not gonna hold up.
That's right. That's right.
And then we're racist if we start using facts.
See, that's what was it? That one chick in that video who was that went like viral or whatever, about how the only thing real are emotions, and like facts aren't a thing. She's like, the only real thing are emotions. Like, but emotions change. Like, I don't, what? And like, when they pointed that out to her, she like waved them away and like retreated. They called her out. They're like, what are you talking about? Emotions fucking change. They're not constant. All right. So, and then it's implement a just transition that empowers those communities and workers most impacted by climate change and the transition to a green economy. Ensure that any worker displaced by the shift away from fossil fuels will receive full income and benefits as they transition to alternative work. So this is everyone in the oil fields, everyone going down to the coal mines, because remember, that's still a thing. But seriously, like all these, what are you going to do with all these millions of people who work in the oil fields, who work in the coal mines? What else are they going to do? Like, I'm not saying like that's the only thing that they can do, but you know, for the older gentlemen who fucking do that, what the fuck else are they going to do? That's their job. That's their livelihood. That's what they know.
But it's not just that. Those guys in the oil fields, I'm not too far from the oil patch up in North Dakota, and those guys spend they make a crap ton of money, but they spend it. they spend every penny that comes their way, and they buy a huge jacked up diesel pickup and the $14,000 wheels for it. And then they go to the casino and blow a crap ton of money, and then they buy a $300,000 house and a $100,000 boat and everything else, and they spend all this money. So they're actually probably doing more for the economy than, I don't know, somebody who's in their mom's basement begging for free college.
Right? Weird. So, but yeah, so, and then it goes on to say, enact an energy democracy, which I don't fucking know what that means. Based on public, community, and worker ownership of our energy system. That sounds an awful lot like communism, but I digress. And then it says, treat energy as a human right. It's not. Energy is not a human right. It's not. I'm sorry. It's just not. There are many things that are a human life, like, you know, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. Those are human rights. The ability to make yourself better than, like, where you came from, and, like, you know, achieving goals and not being told, no, you can't do this because you're a chick. That's a human right. You know, women signing up for the draft, that's a fucking human right because, you know, equal rights and lefts. But, energy is not a human right. It's not. Neither is healthcare. Sorry, but it's not. Right?
Well, and they say access to healthcare, and whether or not you have insurance, if you fall and break your arm, you can go to the emergency room and have it set.
Yeah. Trust me, there are ways, like, hospitals have programs in place to help you pay for shit. They're there. You just have to ask. Let's see. So redirect research funds from fossil fuels into renewable energy and conservation. Oh, before I go on. Okay, so they're talking about, like, all that, right? And I'm not just talking about, like, people working in, like, the oil fields. I'm talking about the refineries, everyone from, you know, the gas station clerk up to the CEOs of fucking Chevron, Texaco, Shell, fucking, what are the other ones? Valvoline, right? Is that one?
Sure.
I don't know. But, you know, so it's all those people. And then on top of that, what the fuck are all those NASCAR drivers going to do? Race a fucking electric car? That's going to be exciting. Listen to those engines roar. Right? Like, no. Like, I'm sure, like, do they not realize they will have a total revolt going on if someone tries to tell the rednecks, we're taking away your fast cars that go around in left-hand circles?
And they're going to replace them with the Prius.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, gentlemen, start your engines. Like, what the fuck?
They're going to be out there on, like, hoverboards and shit.
Right. Oh my god. So then it says, you know, build a nationwide smart electricity grid that can pool and store power from a diversity of renewable sources, giving the nation clean, democratically controlled energy. Again, that sounds an awful lot like communism, because someone's going to have to be in control of that. I don't want fucking Mary Sue down the street saying that I can't heat my house just because she likes her house freezing cold.
But it won't even be her down the street. It'll be some numbnuts in Washington who knows little to nothing about where you're at that's trying to control it.
Right? Imagine if someone from, I don't know, Arizona or Florida tried to tell you up in North Dakota in the dead of winter, nah, you don't need to heat your house. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, grab an Afghan and go relax.
Right? It'll be fine. Just, you know, layer up or something. And then it says, you know, end destructive energy extraction and associated infrastructure. So fracking, tar sands, offshore drilling, oil trains, mountaintop removal, natural gas pipelines, and uranium mines. halt any investment in fossil fuel infrastructure, including natural gas, and phase out all fossil fuel power plants. Phase out nuclear power and end nuclear subsidies. And end all subsidies, there we go, for fossil fuels, and impose a greenhouse gas fee/tax to charge polluters for the damage they have created. So again, what about air travel? And they're talking to a lawyer, Fox News interviewed a lawyer who helped Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez come up with this and write it all out, and he's like, what about planes? And the lawyer was like, oh no, we're not saying to completely eliminate fossil fuels. It's like, yes, you literally are saying that. But and if they can't, we're going to tax the shit out of it, because fuck you, you're not using the freaking molten dinosaur liquid to power your planes anymore.
Well, so we talked last week about the tube under the ocean or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had to go to the bank the other day, and I had to, you go through the drive-thru and you put your little thing in, your check in the deal, and it goes in that tube through the roof into the lady's hand, and she gives you money back, right?
Yeah.
So why don't we have that set up like a giant bank tube system that you can sit in and just vacuums you down, I don't know, to California?
Like the Jetsons?
Yes, just like the Jetsons.
Oh my god. What if you get stuck? Let's face it, there's some fucking fat asses out there. What if they get stuck?
I don't know.
Also, question.
Send a hive of bees up there after him or something. That'll get him out.
Or a big ass plunger. Hold on, we got a clog.
Run the big snake thing down there and pull him out.
That gets all the hair out. Ugh.
But I mean, that's an idea. We have to think outside the box. We have to develop technologies that haven't been invented yet.
This high-speed, coast-to-coast, all over the place train that's supposed to, be a viable option for people to take, and a cost-effective option for people to take over a train, and be like, you know what, I would rather sit on a train for 6 hours than take an hour flight, because why not? And and I touched on this last week about how California has been wanting to do a high-speed rail system within the state now for at least the last 15 years. And it keeps getting passed, and yet there's nothing to show for it. So I don't know how the fuck they are going to do all this by 2030. I don't see it.
I don't think they'll do it by 2050, but that's me.
Right? And they keep saying, the Green New Deal will revive the economy. How? When it's estimated to cost $93 trillion with a T dollars, which breaks down to about $650,000, $100,000 per household. I don't even break six figures. I don't even get to half of six figures doing my job. So how does this fucking work? Socialist rep AOC's Green New Deal is a massive government takeover of large portions of the U.S. economy, and it's projected to cost up to $93 trillion, which they don't know how they're going to pay for it, but god damn it, they sure as shit are going to implement it, because Big Brother is real. So Bloomberg reports that Ocasio-Cortez's far-left plan would tally between $51 trillion and $93 trillion over the 10 years, concludes American Action Forum, which is run by Douglas Holtz Eakin, who directed the nonpartisan CBO from 2003 to 2005. So the enormous price tag, which amounts to over $650,000 per U.S. household, covers a low-carbon electricity grid, net zero emissions transportation system, guaranteed jobs, allegedly, universal health care, guaranteed green housing, and food security. Again, I don't know how, because they don't fucking say it, because how the fuck are they going to harvest crops with electric farm equipment? Are you going to pay these farmers to buy this shit?
And you can't even do it like the old days when they had horse and oxen, because you can't have cows and horses anymore.
Right? Exactly. We can't even have livestock, which gets rid of my fucking plan of, like, you know, if this is a thing, I would rather transport, like, I'd rather ride around on a fucking horse and buggy before buying an electric car. I'll move faster with a horse and buggy than I would with an electric car. So the Green New Deal is clearly very expensive, the group noted in its analysis. It's further expansion of the federal government's role in some of the most basic decisions of daily life. However, would likely have a more lasting and damaging impact than its enormous price tag. The damaging report comes after Director of National Intelligence Dan Coats told lawmakers earlier this month that the $20 trillion plus in existing U.S. national debt represents the greatest threat to the U.S. national security. So Ocasio-Cortez's rollout of the Green New Deal was disastrous, as documents posted to her congressional website mentioned the need to reduce cow farts and the need to provide for those who are, quote, unwilling to work, which this law school professor, Robert Hockett, who's an advisor, again, and helped her come up with this, then falsely stated multiple times on Fox News that those statements were not in the Green New Deal. But they were. And, like, people grab fucking screenshots of that. No, it's $650,000, not $50,000. $650,000 per household over the next 10 years. Again, I don't make that much. So how are they going to do any of that?
But when they make up the numbers, your living wage will be like $675,000, and they take $650,000, and you're good.
But then, how am I gonna like fucking eat anything? If
It's
I'm making
free.
over $650,000 a year, something's wrong, because I did not go to school for that type of money. I'm sorry, and I wouldn't want to accept that. Like, fuck that. Like, why are you just handing me money that I didn't fucking earn?
But everything's going to be free, so you don't really got to worry about it.
Right. Oh, speaking of money, I saw a meme the other day that made me, like, squirt water out of my nose. And I may have peed a little bit because I was laughing so hard. And it said something about how women who post on social media, like, pictures of themselves with all this money are either strippers or they sell vagina, because real women have direct deposits. And I fucking about died. I was laughing really hard at that, but you didn't laugh as hard, so now I feel like fucking retarded.
No,
for
you're
laughing.
fine. I'm looking at something. I'm sorry. I'm trying to
No,
bring
you're
something
good.
to the conversation. I just got a breaking news that the House of Representatives is voting to overturn Trump's emergency declaration.
Well, this will be interesting.
House of Republicans voted to overturn President Trump's national emergency declaration on Tuesday.
The Republicans voted against it.
The veto threat ignored by the party overturns Trump's bid for billions in funding for the proposed border wall. The House's 245 to 182 vote to block the funding, including 13 Republicans.
Interesting.
The votes in favor of the resolution fell short of the two-thirds majority needed to override the presidential veto. The resolution now moves over to the Senate, where it must be brought to the floor for a vote in the next 18 days.
Okay, so the House was unable to veto the freaking national emergency order that President Trump put out. is what you're saying, because you just said it failed to get the 2/3 majority to
Right,
stop
well,
what he's trying to do.
It passed to go forward, but if he vetoes it, they don't have enough votes at this time to overturn a veto.
Okay. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure the Republicans who voted to not pass it are in high, Democrat contentious states. You know?
Right. Sorry, I was just reading a little further in it, but
No,
it's
you're
kind
good.
of it's there's not much more to it, but so.
Right, Chad, won't be any need to sell vagina with the new sex robots.
The ones that'll kill you, though, that doesn't sound very fun.
Right, they might. But all right, y'all, it is break time. When we come back, I'm going to let's see, what are we going to talk about? Oh, Kamala Harris has gone back to the old thing about how Trump is racist because. Why not? I guess at this point, President Trump is in Vietnam right now. So everyone is all like, oh, he's a draft dodger. He's doing more time in Vietnam right now than that one Native American who said he was in there and who wasn't. So there we go. Trump card.
Nathan Phillips, whatever that guy's name was?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure because I don't care. He was an asshole. Oh, and then the Democrats blocked a bill to provide medical care for infants who survive failed abortions because why would they do anything different? So, on that note, we are going to be back here shortly.
When you look at me deep into the photography, I don't really need your sympathy, just tell me your thoughts. Have I got what they got, and is it a plot done for naught? Am I not like you because I do what I do? Who knew that I could lose a few of you cause I bleed blue? But it's true, I know cause I see it every day as I work and I sleep the day away. Like you I have pain and like you I have fear. Can I pay all of the bills and still make it through the year? Will I make it home alive? Should I pray to the sky every day and every night? Will I hold you by my side? But in the public eye, I don't even have a heart. A robot of the system moving only when I'm told to start. Rip apart my art, I'm strong like a flower blooming. You got it all wrong, I know I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
Call me a vet like a soldier. Green beret, 21 gun salute, don't wanna see the day. In the constant war zone, in the home of the brave, where they hate the police until they saving the day. I got kids like you, a mortgage like you, so blue lives matter, and so does yours too. All this separation and divide, open your eyes. If you cut us all open, we the same inside. The only difference is I run to the gunfight. Your peace when it's chaos, when the people don't act right. But I'm under scrutiny for trying to protect me. You pull a pistol and I'm shooting for trying to contest me. I got a quick second to make a deadly decision. The media betrayed me like a kid for a living, like I'm cold with no heart, a brain with no thoughts, a body with no feeling, a life with no cause.
Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. I'm damned if I do, and damned if I don't. It's like every single time I say what's on my mind, they go for my throat, they spew evil words. If you are absurd, always grinding, grinning, and killing my soul with these verbs. Hold me down, like I can't gasp for air. I'm closed inside of a box, like I'm inside Fort Knox. Every time that I'm there, I don't know why they think that I'm different from you. All that's true is I'm a like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
In. Son of a bitch. Whoops. Sorry, everyone. Hi, Radar.
Hi, Minx.
Whoops. Fucking, the girls were like, do we have to? Yes. And then it was, why didn't you take a bath? You were supposed to take a bath. Why have you not done this? We don't know. We fell asleep, but you're watching videos. Like, how? What? So yeah, so we're gonna definitely get dinged for that. Game of Thrones song. They're gonna be like, this song is copyrighted. You do not have permissions. Like, damn it, we know. Oh well. Now I'm gonna like feed my earphone back up into my fucking shirt. Ugh. I can do it. Yes, it was Game of Thrones, and season 8 cannot start soon enough.
I've never seen an episode of it.
I'm sorry. What?
Yep, I haven't got the bug apparently.
Okay. I am gonna have to talk with our management now because this is unacceptable. I need to talk to ICE to be like, why did you give me a co-host who has never seen Game of Thrones? This is unacceptable. I can't work in these type of conditions.
It's a hostile work environment.
It really is. Like, I'm going to be like, especially in, come April. Oh, you asshole. Sorry. Boyfriend wants to throw shit at me.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me about not watching Game of Thrones. I was like, that got very violent very fast.
No, we're currently throwing shit at each other right now.
That's love.
No. So, anyways, no, it's not you are an asshole, Radar. It's, the guy I live with.
Oh, because the woman I live with would probably call me the same thing.
For not watching Game of Thrones?
Or just for a myriad of reasons.
Oh. Why are guys assholes? I have questions.
It's in our nature, apparently. I guess. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't fucking know. But yeah, okay. So there are boobies in Game of Thrones. There's also lots of butts and vag. Every so often you get a full dick in there. It doesn't happen as often as titties, but it's there. But like never when they're like erect. It's always when they're flaccid and you're like, okay. And like what am I supposed, like what are you, why am I seeing a flaccid penis? I see enough of that at work. Like, I don't care enough. Like, and then allegedly he just got done having sex. Why is it just hanging limply there? Like, I kind of want to smack it a little, be like, wake up. You were just allegedly inside of a vagina. Why are you not erect?
Maybe he's just, he's looking for some Gatorade, and that's what's on his mind.
Gatorade? I don't think that's how it works. Right? Exactly, Bailey. Ice hasn't seen Game of Thrones either, which is probably why he put Raider on this show. He's like, let's see if we can agitate Minx by putting a non-watcher on there. Ugh, motherfuck. Right? Oh, correct, Alania. Unless it's Theon. You won't be seeing Theon's dick at all anymore because it got cut off.
Wait, so they cut a dude's dick off on TV?
Yeah. Well, no, not on TV. I'm like,
Oh.
obviously, it's not for a real thing, right? The actor still.
Well, yeah, I figured they're not. They might have to pay him pretty well for that, but I mean, I didn't know like if it was like CGI'd or something, or if it was just like a given in the story.
So in the story, spoilers for what was it? Season 3, 4? No, season 4. Theon gets his dick cut off by Ramsay. And because Ramsay tells Theon, I'm going to take away your favorite toy, which is Theon's dick, because Theon's a whore, right? A man whore, which is perfectly acceptable for like medieval times, right? I guess, which is, I don't think fair, but whatever. We've progressed since then. And so, Theon goes and like fucks whatever he wants, right? And so Ramsay is like, you know what? I'm going to take away your favorite toy. And then send it to your dad as like a ransom. God, sorry. I keep like fucking over, as a ransom, and sucks to suck, nerd, and like chops it off. And so you don't actually see the chopping happen. You just hear Theon scream and you're like, oh no. And then a few like an episode or two later in like a different scene at the Iron Islands, which is where Theon is from and where his dad lives. So it is he gets like this box from Ramsay Bolton, or actually at the time Ramsay Snow, because he was not legitimized yet. So he gets a box from the Boltons by way of Ramsay Snow. And inside the box comes a letter, and it says, I've sent along Theon's favorite toy. He cried when I took it. And he opens the box, and it's dick. And it is literally, a dick in a box. My dick in a box, babe.
Oh, I love that. I love that little video.
Right? Woo! But yeah, so that was a thing that happened in Game of Thrones. But like I said, titties almost every episode.
That's what got me hooked on Orange is the New Black, is about the first 15 minutes of that.
What, titties?
Of episode 1. Oh yeah, have you seen that?
I think I tried to get into it, but yeah, there was a lot of like lesbian sex going on.
Well, like the first 15 minutes is nothing but like a shower and sex. So I was like, man, I could watch this. And then 3 seasons later, I was like, God, this sucks. But
no, Ray, Ramsay ate a hot dog, not his dick. They're different. Oh my God, Taylor, Theon, it's ma'am. Oh my God. Yes, it's amazing. Oh my God, seriously, I told you that they made one of those like pop figure things of it's ma'am.
yeah, I saw that. It was hilarious.
Right? It's ma'am. I'll show you a sir outside. It's like, whoa, excuse me, sir. I need you to calm down. I'm such an ass. But it's all right. All right. So what were we going to talk about this hour? Oh, yes, about that. So this Born Alive bill Sorry. So Senate Democrats on Monday blocked a Republican bill that would have threatened prison time for doctors who don't try saving the life of infants born alive during failed abortions, leading conservatives to wonder openly whether Democrats were embracing infanticide to appeal to left-wing voters. So all prominent Democrat 2020 presidential hopefuls in the Senate voted down the measure, including Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Kristen Gillibrand, Amy Klobuchar, I'm just going to call her Amy Chewbacca, and Elizabeth Warren. So the final vote was 53 to 44 to end Democrat delaying tactics, 7 votes short of the 60 needed. So 3 Democrats joined Republicans to support the bill, Joe Manchin, Bob Casey, and Doug Jones. So 3 Republicans did not vote, apparently because of scheduling issues and plane flight delays. Including your senator, Kevin Cramer of North Dakota.
I'm from the south of the Dakotas.
I mean, it's really the same thing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, at least you admit it.
We have Mount Rushmore down here, so they don't have that.
I mean, is that even a thing anymore?
It's a giant mountain. I mean, it's not going away. But
like, do people still like, oh, we gotta go drive and see it? Is that a thing?
There's still people. Yeah, there's still people that do it, but I don't know. They all kind of seem to be like the the vacation movies with Clark the Griswolds.
Yes,
They're
National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yeah, they're just like that. They are like the Griswolds, and they all kind of pop out with their socks and sandals or Crocs on and their jorts and bounce around Mount Rushmore, then they leave.
Right.
Sorry if anyone out there wears socks and sandals. It's
every dad vacation uniform ever. Socks and sandals. Fuck yeah.
I do it just to embarrass my kids.
Are you just waiting to break out your fucking white New Balances and your jorts to go mow the lawn?
Oh no, I'm not even gonna get new. I'm gonna get like just the plain white Velcro ones.
Oh my god,
the straps.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
And like a giant Nikon camera around my neck or something.
Oh my god.
Oh, the new thing out here during tourist season is people who have iPads walk around like they're on cell phones taking pictures with those. Ooh. And it seems to be the bigger the better, and that's hilarious to watch.
That's amazing. All right, so the Born Alive we got sidetracked. We digressed. The Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act would have required that any healthcare practitioner present at the time of a birth exercise the same degree of professional skill, care, and diligence to preserve the life and health of the child as a reasonably diligent and conscientious healthcare practitioner would render to any other child born alive at the same gestational age. My question is, who the fuck doesn't already do that? Like, is that a thing to not do it? Like, I don't know. Like, I've done surgery now for 14 years, and I refuse to do abortions, mostly because I don't agree with them as far as a form of birth control. You know, I just don't. And so, and I think I might have done one by accident because this chick came in and she was obvious, like, how do I put this nicely? White trash, but like retarded.
So like a crackhead.
Yeah, there we go. And so, like, obviously someone who should not breathe, right? Someone who should have probably taken the test to be like, hey, can you sustain another life? But like this patient came in and it was like, oh, possible ectopic pregnancy. So we took her in for surgery and there was nothing in the tubes. And so then it progressed to a vacuum evacuation of the uterus. And I was like, but there's nothing in the tubes. What are we doing? And the doctor was like, do you really think this person should have a kid? And like continues to suction out whatever it was that was in her, like, this patient's uterus. And I was just like, I'm not comfortable with this. Like, did this literally just happen? And it was, yeah. So I'm pretty sure. And like, I work at a Catholic hospital, right? We don't even do fucking tubal ligations. Like, we don't recommend anyone for birth control. Like, if you don't want to get pregnant, you better practice that rhythm method, right? Otherwise, the nuns will get you.
What if they just hand out pull-out couches? I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right?
I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, so again, I don't know what healthcare professional is not already like, oh shit, like, I know we just tried to kill this, but it's still breathing. So I'm going to have to, give it life-saving medical intervention now. Or do they just be like, man, like, toss it into the trash?
But
Like,
I mean, it's a pretty invasive procedure, the whole abortion thing. So is there any bringing it back? Like,
I don't know.
That's
all right, hold on. Skype has some. Why can't I answer this call and then keep you on the line with me? Oh, missed call. Yes, no, I know that, but why won't it let me, like, merge people? This is stupid. Let's call them back.
yes, I like this plan.
Right? Yeah. I think it was this person. Shit. Hopefully I'm not calling some random person.
That might be fun too.
Right? I don't know. We're going to stop. Oh, God. Oh, God. Make it stop. Oh, my God. I'm just going to...
I think it's Daryl Connor, please.
Oh! Oh, shit. I don't know what I just did. Ah!
You hung up on me.
I know, sorry. There. Why?
You're good.
Oh, bitch. All right, whatever. I'll be right back. WTF Nation Radio, you are live on the air. Who is this?
Ray.
Who?
Ray.
Oh, hello, Ray.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hello?
Hi,
Good.
hi, Radar. So what's
It's crazy because I just came out of my feminist class.
Oh, yes. Go on.
And listen, I'm a veteran, but I tell you one thing. Have you ever looked at a guy and you'd be like, I can't imagine this guy having kids? Yeah, I'm that guy.
I've thought that about a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm that guy who's that fucked up type of person.
Okay.
You'd be like, I don't see him as having kids.
Well, I mean, you are enrolled in a feminist class, so automatically I'm going to say you shouldn't have kids.
No. No. The only reason I went inside a feminist class is just to be around 30 women. All right? I was like, oh, this is going to be a great idea. I'm going to have all the ladies around me. I'm going to be like the star of the class.
You realize that the women who take those classes
It was a
hate men.
disaster. Yeah, I knew that until I got inside, and it was too late to switch out.
There's nothing but man-hating going on in there. So tell me, have all you ladies synced up?
Oh, so the funny thing is, after the first class, I was like, oh, damn, they really hate men. And the professor says, as a guy taking this course, how do you feel about this term every single class? And it's so hard to, like, ignore. I'm like, can you just skip me? Like, go to somebody else.
But you're the only dude,
Just
so they want
please.
to get your opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And then when they get my opinion, everybody curses me out or calls me a piece of shit. And then all you have is like another veteran girl who agrees with me. And she'll be like, I got your back. I got your back. I'm like, okay, thanks. But they're always like talking crap. It's rather the president is a piece of shit or men are a piece of shit. We want equal pay. We want this. I'm like, you want a spaceship, a surgeon, you want a gentleman, but you don't want to work. And then, no, I didn't mean it like that. It's just like, I'd be like, okay.
No,
relax.
but no,
And
I mean,
then I'd
if
be
you
like,
think about it, though, that is exactly what they want. They want to be completely catered to and taken care of by, wait a minute, the men of society. But at the same time, they want the same respect that comes with being in that prestigious job, right? And as far as, like, equal pay, there already
Exactly.
fucking is equal pay. There already is. The wage gap, like, the gender wage gap doesn't fucking exist. It just doesn't. And, you know,
Oh
on
my God,
average,
but-
though, do men make more? Yes, because women at some point in their life, most women, I can't say for all, but most women at some point, they're like, hey, I want a family. Like, I want to have kids. And so they pop out a few kids, they go on maternity leave, or they just quit altogether and they become stay-at-home moms. So, yeah, obviously, men over the course of a lifetime are going to earn more than women because women make that choice of, hey, I want to be a mom or a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home wife or fucking whatever instead of earning my fucking shit.
But you want to hear the funny part about it?
What?
About the whole thing? We're talking about, like, how, like, women history, how, like, women came together and, like, they said, like, you know how they were, like, working in the kitchen and their job was back in the day working in the kitchen, popping kids. And I'm like, yo, I want that life to stay home and not work and be catered for. And I'm like, I don't want that life. I'd be like, ladies, listen, I have no problem of equal pay. Listen, if I get to stay home and watch the kids for you, I will do it. Just take care of my financials any time of the day.
Right.
And they're like,
you're going to pay
no.
off my debt. Right? Exactly. Like, I'm going to get a credit card in my name, but it's going to go to our joint account that only you funnel money into. And so you are essentially going to pay off my debt because I am entitled to it somehow. I don't, right? That's how it works.
Exactly. It was hilarious. Oh my God, it's funny as hell. Every single class, they're always asking me a question. And when I say something and I reach like to a good point or I'm making sense, the person you at least have somebody says, shut the fuck up, just out of shouts out. And I'm like, all right. Or somebody just starts talking over me and I'm like, all right, I'm getting disrespected so many times in this class.
Right. Ugh.
Yeah, it happens.
So have
I'm
you
like,
guys
okay.
have you guys breached the abortion topic yet?
We touched upon it. It's just like we touched upon it, but they have, and I tell them, can you guys give me any other reason besides incest or rape? You'd be like, oh, that's the first thing they say. They'd be like, it's rape. Yeah, how about a rape? And I'm like, do you have any other reason besides those two? Give me any reason. I'll wait. And 95% of the time, they don't have any other reason than those two. And I'm like, give me another one. Just give me another one. And they get mad at me for. And I'm like, just give me another reason besides race, incest and rape. Just give me that.
Right, and they can't.
And they don't.
And they never will. So, but hey, dude,
They
thanks
never
for
have the
calling.
answer. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, have a good rest of your evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. All right, Radar.
I'm here.
No, well, hello there. What do you think about our caller?
I think he was awesome. I think I would go batshit crazy in a class like that. He's got more balls than I do because I would never have done that.
Like, at least he was honest when he was like, yeah, so I took this, like, feminine studies class to be around all these chicks and be like, yeah, I'm the only dude in here. They're all going to be, like, beating out of my hands. Like, they all hate men. That's why they took this class. But, you know.
Because I took some dumb classes in college, and some of them were because chicks were in there, and some of them were because I needed them to graduate. But yeah, I stayed away from the feminist studies and all that because, you're asking for trouble in there.
Right, exactly. And I'm not sorry, but someone who gets like a major in like women's studies does not deserve the same pay as someone who's gone through like computer engineering. You know,
right.
if you want to get paid the same as an engineer or someone in like with a biology degree, go for that instead. 'Cause what the fuck are you going to do with your liberal arts bullshit women's studies degree?
Right, they get like an underwater basket weaving degree or something, and they wonder why they can't make any money.
Underwater basket weaving probably pays more.
Now, I will say this, that there are some education, but educated jobs that don't get paid near enough. Teachers being a big part of them. I don't think teachers get paid near enough for the type of education they're required to have.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're a photography major, that you're kind of screwed there. Or, hey, what was that one that was really big? It was like the gender studies or the gender integration studies was a major when I was going to college, and I just laughed.
Thing?
So,
like gender integration studies.
Yeah, like I don't know. I thought it was just something you just integrated, but apparently it's something you need to go and get a 4-year degree upon to do something with. I don't know.
I mean, I guess that can be a thing.
Well, I'm sure everyone who got it isn't making a penny now. So I don't know. It's, you know, and I talk shit because I have a history. I went for history and political science, and so I mean, but I knew getting out that I wasn't going to make a penny doing either one of those unless I decided to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So, but you know, now I drive a truck and make a lot more money, and I should never have went to college.
Right? Damn it!
Oh, stupid GI Bill.
Right? Oh, I still need to use mine. It's in 5 years now that I've been out. Oh my god, December was 4 years since I got out. Fucking crazy. Some days I miss it, and then I see some shit on, like, you know, the main page, and I'm like, ha 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 ha, never mind.
Right.
Never mind.
I'm
Right?
just like,
Yeah, no.
keep throwing more uniforms. I'm glad I don't got to buy one.
Right. Fucking, seriously, over in Mixer, Botface died.
Did he die?
Yeah, because I just tried to start a heist, and nothing. And
I
was
thought
like,
he was
oh,
on his 45,
maybe I
45.
misspelled it, and I didn't, so... Oh, hi, Sith Lord. But, all right, so President Trump is in Vietnam right now. So after long journeys to Vietnam, U.S. President Donald Trump and North Korea... Oh, hold on. WTF Nation Radio, you are live on the air. Who is this? Oh. Oh. All right. Interesting. Hello?
Hello?
Who is this?
It's Radar.
Oh, it's still Radar. What's up, dude? Well, someone just called. I don't know. And then, like, Skype decided to... I don't know what. They did just, like, died and then reopened. So that was interesting.
Do you have the crazy J-Ready Skype
Dude,
going
I
on?
don't know. I have no idea. I know it's not the version that I left from. And it's like, welcome to new Skype, which I can't fucking add people to. So anytime someone calls, I've got to answer that and then add you to it. I'm like, well, son of a bitch. Stop fucking with it. So
I didn't.
God damn it. So anyways, President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un are in place for their second summit tomorrow, or technically tonight, Vietnam time, to address perhaps the world's biggest security challenge, Kim's pursuit of a nuclear program that stands on the verge of viably threatening targets around the world. See, here we go. We're going to try this again. WTF Nation Radio, you are live on the air. Who is this? Why is it doing that? Again, are you there? Radar.
Yes.
See, I can't fucking answer this call from this dude. Like, what's the number? 618, dude. I can't answer your call. I don't know what's going on, but I can't fucking answer it. So, sorry. But, anyways, so Trump arrived late Tuesday in Air Force One after a long fight that included refueling stops in England and Qatar. He went the long way. Fuck. He waved from the stairs of the presidential plane, then shook hands with dignitaries and walked along a red carpet to his motorcade. So Kim arrived in Hanoi earlier and spent the day traveling around the Vietnamese capital in his armored limousine, his squad of bodyguards in tow as he visited the North Korean embassy, with hundreds of visiting journalists and thousands of local citizens following in his wake. He took a train through southern China and then traveled to Hanoi by car from Vietnamese over 2 days. First at dinner on Wednesday, followed by meetings on Thursday. They first met last June in Singapore, a summer that was long in historic pageantry, but short in any enforceable agreements for North Korea to give up its nuclear arsenal. Now, everyone is all up in arms like, oh, this is who we're fucking, sending to, Vietnam. This is, like, who we're sending to fucking meet with this guy. And it's like, he's the only man who's been able to breach anything with Kim Jong-un, or, like, North Korea in general, since the start of the Korean War. So, I don't know why everyone's talking shit when your favorite president wasn't able to fucking do it. So how about you just sit back in the peanut gallery, suck a dick, and let it fucking happen? Can I say that on Mixer still? I have no idea.
Well, you just did, so.
I know, but they get so mad at me. Like, Mixer gets mad over, like, really anything.
Yeah.
So you really have to, like, I can't call people my favorite F word because it's frowned upon, allegedly. I don't know. So the before the summit began, Kim took some time to venture out of his hotel and check out parts of Hanoi, including the nation's embassy, where a loud cheer went out. Soldiers, police, and international journalists thronged the streets outside of Hanoi's hotel where Kim is staying, and hundreds of eager citizens stood behind barricades hoping to see the North Korean leader. As Vietnamese, North Korean, and U.S. flags fluttered in a cold drizzle, dozens of cameras flashed and some citizens screamed and used their mobile phones to capture Kim's rock star-like arrival. Oh my god. And then this one dude. Oh, it's a chick. Sorry. This chick says, I like him. He is very young and is very interesting. He is also very powerful. Trump is not young, but I think he is very powerful. What?
Did they interview a 5th grader or what?
I don't know. Fucking Asians crack me up. Oh my god, one of the nurses I work with, she's Filipina, and oh my god, she's so fucking funny. She won't drive at night because she just doesn't want, like, she's scared to drive at night. So when she's on call, her husband has to drive her to the hospital like in the middle of the night if she gets called in. And then he drops her off, and then, like, you know, she calls him when she's ready to get picked up. But she went to go see a patient the other day who, like, everything on paper said that this patient was female. Like, looking at this patient, you're like, pretty sure that's a dude. And this nurse, it felt so bad, but I was laughing so hard. She walked in to, like, talk to the patient first thing, and she's like, good morning, sir. And the dude was like, actually, it's ma'am.
It's ma'am.
It's ma'am. But, like, seriously, she had a fucking mustache. She had a mullet. And I was like, what era are we in right now? Like, nothing was shaved. I was like, ugh. Like, I thought it was a dude, too, but luckily she doesn't remember talking to me, although she was rather creepy because, like, she looked at me, right, and she was like, you don't smile much. I'm like, who the fuck are you? But, you know, at work, that's all you can see. It's just my eyes. That's it. That's all you see of my skin. I'm like, no, I do. Just, you know, not when I'm being talked to by a predator. But, like, luckily by then she'd already had drugs that caused amnesia, so I can get away with talking to people. Yeah, no, I can get away with talking to people however I want when they're in my OR because, 1, they don't recognize me when I'm not at work. 2, they don't know my name. 3, if they did, make sure you spell it correctly. So.
Oh.
So Vietnam's authoritarian leaders set up a huge security apparatus to welcome Kim, shutting long stretches of highway and locking down swaths of the bustling capital city. Earlier in the morning, Kim, grinning broadly and waving, stepped off his armored train at the end of a long ride that started in how do you pronounce North Korea's capital?
Pyongyang.
Yeah, that's the one. Pyongyang. Pya! And wound through China to the Vietnamese border. He shook hands with officials, blah, blah, blah. Pomp and circumstance, dog and pony show. Right? So, exactly, Ray. I need an adult, too. So, this whole meeting, I don't know. What are your expectations for, like, what's about to happen?
Well, I want to backtrack just a second,
Yeah,
just
go
a
for it.
heartbeat, because you said it, and I'm assuming you're reading the article verbatim, and it said North Vietnam's authoritarian leadership.
No,
right?
no, not North Vietnam's. Vietnam's.
Okay, Vietnam's, whatever. Yeah, because they won. But anyway.
Yeah, authoritarian leaders.
But not socialist, not communist. They're authoritarian leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that was a little bit different, even though they are a socialist / communist regime, whatever. But anyway, I just don't see a whole lot happening until North Korea is ready to do it. You know, they kind of do this with every not president now, Trump being the only one that's actually been able to talk to him, but they kind of, yeah, we'll do this, and blah 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 blah, lift some sanctions, and then it doesn't really ever get done.
True. I do remember how last time after, Kim Jong-un and Trump met, like there was, according to satellite images, some sort of like, tearing down launch sites in North Korea. But I think that's been about it.
There's been some like fence and wall deconstruction along the DMZ. I know there's been I've seen some images of that stuff where, the North and South troops are, reaching through the fence and shaking hands, and they're actually doing a lot more communication between North and South Korea, which is awesome. Which is awesome.
It really is. The last year, we haven't seen any sort of, at least it hasn't made news over here, of any sort of tensions going on between North and South Korea. You haven't seen the missile launches over the Sea of Japan. So
no.
I think...
And after the saber rattling, where we had B-1s and B-2s and all that stuff kind of flying right off their coast, I think calmed them down a little bit. Because when Trump first took office, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of missile launches. And then there was a lot of our, I'm not going to say aggression, but kind of we're flexing our muscles saying, hey, don't do this. You don't want this.
It was definitely more of like a show of force. The first, 2 years he was in office. But again, he was able to do something that Reagan wasn't able to do, that Ford was not able to do, that fucking Nixon wasn't able to do, that Clinton wasn't able to do, that Bush wasn't able to do, that motherfucking Obama was not able to do. And that was get North and South Korea in the same fucking room to talk to each other. Right. And then not only that, but then also to meet with us, have this like reigning whatever of North Korea president, if you will, but like let's all face it, he's like supreme leader. Meet with a sitting president of the United States. That's never happened before, no matter who was in office before Trump, right? So you can't take that away from the man or his presidency. And everyone's gonna try to downplay it and be like, oh, well, everything was in motion before he got there. No, it wasn't. What was in motion was the beginnings of either restarting the Korean War, because let's remember, it wasn't officially over until last June or like last February. I don't know. But either way, it wasn't officially over until last year. So up until 2018, it was constant, is the Korean War going to start back up? Because, all they did was call a ceasefire. And it was, show of force by North Korea, followed by show of force from South Korea, backed by the Americans. And that's all that happened for the last 50, 60 years. Until, again, President Trump got into office, things started moving and progressing to where they are now, where the Korean War has officially been declared done, over with. Both countries were able to get into a room and talk civilly with each other about, expectations from here on out, and how each side was going to start to pull military troops back from the fucking DMZ, and how it's they're going to try and reunite families that got separated. And, and giving back, POWs or POW remains or whatnot. And then you get Trump and Kim Jong-un meeting for the first time, which, again, no other president since the Korean War started has been able to do.
No, for sure. And that's a huge thing, a feather in Donald Trump's cap. And
yeah, you literally, you cannot take that away from President Trump or his presidency.
But how much of that really involves us directly? When I think, to me, it should be a lot of the North and the South working out their differences, with us kind of as a cheerleader / referee in between it. I mean,
I agree. To an extent, I think our presence in South Korea has definitely helped South Korea, like,
oh, for sure,
be able to withstand anything that the North, we were there as a huge deterrent, which is the only reason why the North, the last 60 years hasn't tried to come back, like, to try to continue what they were doing, is because of our presence there.
Oh, for sure. And if you look at the North Korean propaganda, a lot of it isn't against the South, it's against the United States.
And how, a free country is terrible. Yeah.
Well, and they still want to, unite the Korean Peninsula. They just want to do it under the banner of communism. And you see the difference between the North and the South. I think that this is where we need to send the socialists to Korea and say, look up here where they've got socialism, and then look down here where it's not, and see which one you prefer.
They don't even have to go to that, though. You go to fucking Germany. And not even, like, Germany. Go to Berlin. And just see the massive difference between what was once East Berlin and what was once West Berlin, and how the West City is decades ahead of East, even to this day, just in infrastructure. It's insane how far ahead and how much nicer old West Berlin is compared to old East Berlin. It's night and day, and it's literally, you cross a street and it's completely different just from infrastructure standpoint, let alone, everything else. Like the cars they drove around in East Berlin, it was one type, you got one model, and it was an old Soviet thing that goats could eat. So, high quality, craftsmanship or whatever. I don't fucking know. But, you don't even have to go to North Korea, right? Which is a hostile territory. You don't even have to go to fucking Venezuela. Literally go to Berlin and just walk around. And you don't even have to go deep into the city. It's literally walk around where the wall once stood. You've got all these parks and a zoo over in, what was once West Berlin, and all these massive modern buildings. East Berlin, all the buildings from World War II are still standing, like complete with shrapnel in them, bullet holes, fucking burn marks from mortars. Like, but hey, they've got above ground plumbing, so that's cool, I guess. Or public transportation by like rail carts in the street. So hooray, communism, I guess.
It's that free energy they're looking for, the horse cars.
Right.
The public transportation system.
Right, exactly. But, Orange Man bad, at least according to Kamala Harris. Like, literally, it's the same fucking thing. Everyone keeps accusing him of being racist and, like, all these ists. And he wasn't racist until he ran for president. Until then, he fucking funded your campaign. Or political ventures or fucking whatever. But that's cool. He's racist now. Is that how this works?
It's been said, he could cure cancer and they'd find something wrong with the cancer because, is good now because Trump cured it. I don't get it. I don't understand that. It's hatred. It's really is, and
it's hatred for the man himself, right? Because my general surgeon and I were talking about it today, and he is from India, right? His family came here the legal way He's had to wait that process of getting a visa, and then not only like getting a visitor's visa, but then waiting and being like, we want to live here, and being on that fucking list, and just constantly waiting. And he brought up we were both talking about it, and something that came up is that the last 5 presidents have all funded for sections of border wall to be built. And this is not a new thing. Putting a goddamn wall along our southern border is not a new thing. This has been going on for the last few decades. Right? Even Obama funded sections of fucking border wall or fence or whatever you want to call it. But he put up some sort of physical barrier along miles and miles and miles of fucking border. Look it up. It's fucking facts. The only reason why it's such a big fucking deal now is because of who's in office. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why anyone has their panties in a fucking twist over fucking border security is because of who's in the Oval Office. That's the only goddamn reason.
But that money that was allocated for the fence and wall or border security, whatever, in the past, they've had billions and billions and billions of dollars allocated, but no fucking work's been done.
It's not that.
Or very little.
They haven't connected it right from coast to coast, because what they do is they see what areas are weakest and where all these people have been crossing, and that's where they've done it. That's where they've done the wall or fence or whatever. Again, some sort of physical barrier. That's what they've done. And again, even under President Obama, even under his 8 years, sections of border security were put in place. But again, no one gave a shit until Trump got in office.
Well, it wasn't just border fence. He sent guard troops down there as well.
Yeah.
I know one of our local guard units deployed down there for 6 months, to do whatever operation, build the fence or whatever it was called back then. Mm-hmm. But, but when Trump does the exact same things that other presidents have done over and over and over again, it becomes this huge volatile situation where all of a sudden everyone has to be up in arms about it.
It's all simply because of who's in office, right? And so automatically now Trump is a racist, even though he's doing and upholding the same policies that past presidents put in place. But no. Now Trump is the racist. And so Kamala Harris says, I don't think you can reach any other conclusion. When, she said that when asked if she thought President Trump is a racist. When you talk about him calling African countries shithole countries, then you talk about him referring to immigrants as rapists and murderers. I don't think you can reach any other conclusion. 1, that's not what he said. Let's get it right. 2, he was talking to illegal immigrants and how he didn't say all of them. He said some of them are not good people, which is facts. But, facts aren't real. So the junior senator from California is one of 2 black candidates in the running for the Democrat nomination for president in 2020. Asked if she would have a conversation about reparations for African Americans for slavery and Jim Crow, Harris said she would. She added that she supports the wholesale legalization of marijuana and believes that sex work should be decriminalized for consenting adults. So the interview, which again, she would know all about, considering the only reason she got where she is because she was given blowjobs to prominent people. So she knows all about that sex worker stuff. So the interview came a day after Trump lashed out at Oscar winner Spike Lee on Twitter for what he called a racist hit on your president, who has done more for African Americans, criminal justice reform, lowest unemployment numbers in history, tax cuts, etc., than almost any other president. So Lee's Oscar acceptance speech included a call to action for the 2020 election. You know, let's all mobilize. He said, let's all be on the right side of history. Make the moral choice between love versus hate. Let's do the right thing. Now, this is funny. Coming from the side that, unless you agree with them 100% in your thinking, lashes out with violence. But yeah, sure, love over hate, I guess. But only if your views coincide with everything that I believe in.
I'm going to throw this out there because I legit 100% thought Spike Lee was dead. At least irrelevant. I swear to God, I thought he was dead. I thought I read somewhere that he had died. And because I haven't heard the name Spike Lee in years. Not since like when Malcolm X came out, like the last time he made a big stir, at least that I saw.
Because he hasn't done anything until just now.
Right. But this goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like, these people make movies. You make your movies. We'll watch your movies. If you want to put your political spin on it, go ahead. But when it just,
right.
That's when we choose to watch it. I really don't care who Spike Lee votes for. The same as he doesn't care who I vote for.
Right.
Same
but
as any of it.
A lot of like Hollywood wants you to vote the way that they vote because
for sure.
Why would you not listen to them?
Right. Because that Spike Lee's who I go to for my political advice.
I mean, I go to Taylor Swift, so I mean, obviously.
Did you ever watch the Chappelle Show back in the day? Remember when they did the reparations?
No.
And you don't remember that? He did a skit on reparations and it was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I don't know. I don't know if it's copyright things or what.
Right.
But you should go back and watch it. Just the Dave Chappelle reparations skit. It's hilarious. It's worth a watch.
All right. Well, it's about that time. Bubba, where's Pookie? I miss the bearded wonder. He's here somewhere. I might have lost him, but he's around. Right? I'm sure if you say the magic words, he'll pop up somewhere. Like, taxation is theft, and he'll fucking spring up. Like, yeah, it's it's amazing. or if you say like, oh, we should increase taxes, he'll pop up and be like, taxation is theft. He's like the goddamn Kool-Aid man busting through. Like, oh yeah, it's true. But Radar, can you do the show lineup for us?
The show lineup?
Yeah, what shows we have, what nights we're on, all that shit.
Yay. Well, tomorrow night is our Donza night. And then Thursday night is the Sergeant's Time with Ice and Spanky. Mm-hmm. Friday, we're still nothing scheduled. Same with Saturday. Sunday night, we're going to kick it with Cause and Owl, Team Old. They'll be running through some events with us. And then Monday night is the Monday edition with Ice and Flash. And then Tuesday nights are Tied Up Tuesdays with Minx.
Right? And Radar, don't forget yourself.
And me.
I think this
me,
is like becoming a thing now, where you're on where you're on the show with me.
I believe so. I'm enjoying it, so I hope so.
Good. Me too. So actually our next guest is actually this Thursday, this Sergeant's Time. We've got Brigadier General Patrick Donahue, who is currently serving as the Deputy Commanding General Operations of 8th Army in Korea. He'll be joining us on Sergeant's Time to tell us about the upcoming 75th 8th Army anniversary. No, it definitely says Donahue in my fucking notes right here. It's like spelled out H-U-E. So that's what I'm going off of. So Everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know I'm cutting it short. I am on call, though, so I want to try to get some sleep. But again, thank you guys so much for joining us. I had a great time, Radar. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. I had a great time. Everyone on Facebook, everyone on Mixer, thank you guys so much. And we will see you next week, next Tuesday. So everyone have a great rest of your evenings. Night.